know from what Google have published whether these were taken down because the police requested it, because Google decided that they didn't want the material on their YouTube website, or even if there was a court order involved. We're pretty sure there wasn't a court order involved because we think they would have published that. But it appears that actually what's happening is that that Google's own policy is to remove this sort of content, which I think actually points to corporate censorship rather than government censorship. They should be waiting for the government to ask a court whether this material ought to be taken down or not. Yeah. I think that's absolutely true. I mean, in the case of the UK riots, I don't know what's happening in America now, but in the case of the riots in the UK a few months ago, we were asked, or rather the media was asked to provide footage that they'd recorded to see whether, you know, there was evidence of criminality there. That's wrong, because the media may well be asking people questions. They need to be able to film in a way that people are, you know, actually respect them and don't try to attack them as some sort of surveillance outfit. It completely compromises the freedom of the media if that sort of material is handed over. So that's an absolutely wrong thing for the police to have asked. Well, this is the question, and it has to be a court. An open court can look at the material, the media can report what's going on, and if material is asked to be removed, at least that is done in a publicly accountable way. The problem comes, I think, in the situation we see now here with Google, is that the police are advising Google, it appears, of what material might be breaking the law, and then Google decides to censor that material without a court order. Now, you can sort of understand that on the one hand because YouTube is it's a platform and a site, it's not a search engine, but really it is working in exactly the same way. It's a public platform for us all to use, and it is wrong for Google to start making those judgments without the appearance of a court. Yeah, there is a framework for that. It is called the rule of law, and the rule of law involves courts. If you remove the courts from that system and just say, well, let's have corporate entities deciding what should or shouldn't be on the web, then you stop having the rule of the law, and you have, in fact, effectively vigilante justice operated by corporate entities, and that's wrong. Well, I think here we see United States government pressure on those companies, and again, that is absolutely wrong. WikiLeaks have probably not broken any United States law, and we also know that WikiLeaks, you know, that they've done something which has annoyed the government, but the government themselves really made the mistake in having such poor security that that data leaked out. So they're both, the government's to blame. It's their own fault for being so silly about the systems they set up, allowing 1 million people access to the documents, and now they're trying to put the cat, you know, back in the bag, so to speak. And you know, they're trying to use, again, pressure on corporate people to stop WikiLeaks from operating. They need to take WikiLeaks to court. They need to establish that what they're doing is unlawful, and then they need to go with a court order to those companies. And if those court orders not in place, and those companies are simply doing what the government asks them to behind closed doors, then again we see a complete failure of democracy and an undermining of people's right to free speech and to organise online. That again is vigilante justice. It isn't the rule of law. Thank you. Thank you very much. Cheers. Okay, I'll take this off. You might want to do that for me.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.